What sexual harassment was in the 80s and 90s, workplace violence prevention and intervention is in this decade.
There's an accountability piece that not only corporate America recognizes, but in fact the courts have recognized.
The court system believes that the corporations should have recognized the danger, should have done something about it, and that's a shift. That's a real shift.
Corporations have for a long time had workplace violence prevention programs, but only recently has it become a requirement that they train their employees on what to do for an armed threat or extreme violence.
So now you've got documents that say, this isn't just a best practice that you ought to do, this is an American national standard that you must do. In addition to that, you've got OSHA putting together a field instruction that says, we are specifically training our field agents on what they need to do when they investigate a workplace violence event at an organization.
CPPS is unique for a couple of reasons. One is the type of expertise that we put together to take on the most difficult scenarios in society: kidnapping, active shooter, workplace violence, domestic violence, stalking, bullying.
We take what are seemingly intractable problem sets that are emerging in our society today,
and we provide real solutions, not just consulting, but we give training programs that can be used on distributed learning systems. We've trained tens of millions of people. If you had to sum up our mission statement, it is taking on the hardest things and providing practical, real answers for anybody.
And in some ways, we're actually putting together the language that talks about this problem set. What do you call that period that exists between the onset of extreme violence and the arrival of first responders or the security personnel and the medical personnel? What is that called? We've called it the extreme danger gap.
And that's the time when the individual employees are the ones that are going to have to figure out what they're going to do. And they have to make very quick decisions because these things are over with so quickly.
We need somebody who's in front of the first responders, and there's not even a term for that. So we've decided that they will be immediate responders, the folks who are already caught up inside the situation, who know what to do and should be able to move to purposeful action inside that event to bridge that extreme danger gap.
I think we are now recognized as thought leaders in our areas of expertise.
We're able to not only bring best practices, but benchmark them against the largest corporations in the world because they're our current clients. We have over half of the Fortune 100 as clients that are using our programs right now. The FBI, when they selected a program on how to train everybody in the FBI for responding to an active shooter, they used our video Shots Fired to train over 35,000 people in the FBI.
We've received calls from people saying, we trained our students in what to do if an active shooter were to happen on a campus, and unfortunately we were that campus last week, and we had our kids who had just been trained 2 weeks earlier dash out of that library.
They literally ran out of their shoes, books on the floor, laptops on the floor, and we'd get a call the next day from their head of public safety saying he was convinced those kids' lives were saved because they had gone through our training and they knew what to do.